24 books I want to read in 2024.
Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be doing 24 books that I would like to read in 2024. If you've watched my recent video, or it was 2 videos ago, and it was my creating my life binder video, I said one of my goals for this year was to read 50 books. Last year I kind of got back into my reading era, and I say that very vaguely because I only read 5 books. When I thought I was reading all of the time, your girl read 5 books, but I was super into the books I read. I loved them. I just didn't prioritize the time for it, even though it's something I enjoyed so much. And this year I'm really focusing on doing the things that I enjoy, and one of those is definitely reading. I love watching booktube and book talk. Like Steph, Haley, Destiny, and Sarah, my favorite people to watch. I could listen to them talk about books for hours, and I aspire to have bookshelves like them. Anyway, today we're gonna get into 24 books I want to read in 2024, although my goal is 50. And I would like to preface that some of these books are popular books that I haven't read. I'm kind of new beginner, a lot of Colleen Hoover in here. However, some of these are books that I've had for a while, that I've gotten as gifts or I've seen at the store for really good prices, and they looked interesting and I just never picked them up. And so I want to read a lot of my physical TBR, and then there's so many books on my Goodreads that I want to read, and I'll link my Goodreads in the description. But I plan to read a lot this year, and honestly, if I could get past the 50 goal and shoot towards 100, I want to do that too. But let's go ahead and just jump right into the video. Okay, first book I want to read, I say book and there is 7, but I'm counting it as 1, obviously, because my goal this year is 50. But I couldn't just mention one of these and then not mention the rest of them. And you guys are gonna probably be ashamed of me because it's the entire Harry Potter collection. The reason I say you're probably gonna be ashamed is simply for the fact that I've never read these. And if you're into books, I mean, you clicked on this video, you must have some interest, then you've probably read them. And I have watched, I think, the first Harry Potter movie, and I really enjoyed it. I just could never sit down and dedicate the time. I started the first book, and then I got into like a Colleen Hoover phase and didn't come back to it. But I want to restart, and I want to read all of these, especially because this is my friend's collection, and she said take it, borrow as long as you need. But she's like a diehard Harry Potter fan, and she's just lending them to me because she so desperately wants me to read them. So I'm gonna read them all and then give it back to her, and I just have a feeling I'm gonna love it. And then if I do, I'll buy them all myself. But this is hers, and I'm really excited, honestly, to read them. The next collection of books I purchased whenever I was in my Jenny Han stage, and I still am, but the Summer I Turned Pretty show came out. I didn't even know there was season 3. I didn't know anything about this show until all the hype started happening on TikTok. And so I watched it, and now that's my favorite show of all time. Like, I'm still going back and watching it because I just resonate so much with the show, and I love the lifestyle that was created and at the beach house and everything, and I just love it. But anyway, got into my Jenny Han phase, and so I went ahead and purchased the collection for To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So this has Always and Forever, Laura Jean, P.S. I Still Love You, and To All the Boys I Loved Before. I just read that backwards, but you get the gist. So this is all 3 books, and I've seen the movies, and I know you're supposed to read the book before you see the movie, but I didn't know at the time that most of these movies were, you know, the books were previously written. So I didn't know that yet. I know that now, obviously, now that I'm way more invested, but I would like to read all of these books and see the differences because I've heard really, really great things about the books. So 3 that I would like to reread are, of course, the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I purchased all of these as soon as I stopped watching, or as soon as the show ended. And so I've already read I started reading The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then I was watching the show simultaneously, and so after the show ended, I was like, I have to read the last book. I need to know what happens, according to the books anyways. So I read the last book, but like before the next season comes out to read them all, because I didn't read it all. I started the first one while I was watching it, like I said, and then jumped to the last one to know what happens. I'm telling you right now, if it doesn't end how this ended, I probably will cry and my dreams will be crushed. So that's the next 3 books. Read. I'm sure most have read, and it starts with us. I read It Ends With Us, and I love the book. I read it in like one sitting basically, and I started this. I don't even know what page I was on. Page 29, but I would like to just restart it and finish it. I also love the cover of this book. The next book that I want to read, I'm so excited about. I started reading as well. I'm really bad at this, guys. I'm on page 18, but I'm gonna restart, and that is Too Late by Colleen Hoover. This book seems so good, specifically because it's not just romance, just fiction. Kind of like suspenseful is what I'm gathering, but there is some romance as well, and I love that. I love the intertwined aspect, because if you have a really, really good plot line and then you just add that trinkle of romance in it, it makes it even better. So I definitely want to read this. I'm actually going to read this after the book that I'm currently reading. I'll go ahead and show you what I've read so far. So I've already read my first book of 2024. I just finished Better Than the Movies, and this is by far my favorite book ever. This is, I'm filming.
Mom wants to know if you want something from Dairy Queen.
A triple chocolate lava cake.
Okay.
Thank you. Please disregard. However, I just finished Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and this is my favorite book ever at the moment. I said that about Ugly Love, and Ugly Love is still a favorite. I feel like all my 5-star books are just gonna have to be all my favorites, because I don't think I can rank them. Because like the last book in The Summer I Turned Pretty, 5-star read, because I found out what I needed to know. So I feel like it's kind of like the same aspect. All my 5-star reads are my favorite books. I can't compare. At the moment, that's how I'm feeling. Still a fresh learner or fresh reader, so we'll see what I grow into. But I love this book. I highly recommend. Super easy to read. It's obviously romance, and it's got several different tropes going on here, like childhood or like growing up together trope, enemies to lovers trope, and fake dating trope. And so all of that together, just chef's kiss. Absolutely love this book.
They don't have that. Is there something else you want?
They do have that.
No, on the menu.
What menu is she on?
She's on the online one for Dairy Queen. She said they have a limited menu online.
Let me get on and look. And then I'll message her it.
Okay.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, so this is the first book that I finished of 2024. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely love this. And once I hit my goal of like 50 new books, I can definitely see myself rereading this, or just rereading it in general without the goal, because I just absolutely love that. Now what I'm currently reading, I'm only on page 14. I started this last night, and that is Reminders of Him. I started it like a few pages in and then fell asleep. But me and my friend at work like recommend each other a lot of books, and we decided to it's kind of like a mini book club, and we decided to start reading this book. And she finished it because I went and picked up that book after I seen a review on it and like read it real fast. And then she finished this book, and I'm supposed to report back tomorrow at work. to go over our thoughts and everything about this. So I'm only on page 14, and honestly after I film this video I'm probably going to dive into this. Who's at my house? There's someone from DoorDash here. They ordered McDonald's too. Anyway, this is the book that I'm currently reading, so this is on there as well. How many books am I at? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, there's probably gonna be more than 24. But after I finish Reminders of Him, I'm gonna read Too Late. This one's a little bit bigger, but this one was already super easy to get into. So it's 16. One that I've started reading and yet again stopped. I'm such a mood reader, which is my biggest problem. But I'm on page 63 of this, and I'm not gonna restart this because this is a book that you don't have to restart. It's not a plotline book, it's a self-help book, and it's Atomic Habits. And I love this book. This is an easy 5-star for me. I just wanted to get into some romance randomly and like put this book down, didn't pick it back up, but it sits on my nightstand, and every once in a while I'll just read like a few pages out of it. But I highly recommend this book for anyone, but especially if like you're unmotivated or you want to get your life together and don't know where to start. This book can teach you a lot, and I'm just loving it. It's not too repetitive. Really great book. I'm so sleepy. Anywhoosie, next book that I want to read is also different genre. It's kind of self-helpy, and that is Rich Dad Poor Dad. My boyfriend's currently reading this. He's on page 147, but he also annotates it, which is really fun because I can't wait to like read what he's annotated. But anyway, this book is so small, but everyone talks, like the whole self-help book community talks about this book a lot. Atomic Habits, this book, these are like some of the big ones, and I'm really into business and finances and trying to have financial freedom one day. And so I think this book is going to be a great addition to my kind of self-help journey books. But everyone talks so highly of this. It's a very chunky book. Well, it's only like 327 pages, but the font is tiny. I don't even know. However, when he finishes this book, it's my job to read it. So this will be in there. These books, self-help, are a little bit more difficult for me to get into than romance, but I can, as long as I'm in the right mindset. Since we're kind of in the self-help business kind of field, I'm gonna just do the last 2 books that I have in that kind of realm, and then I'll go back to my other genres. The next one I want to read, oh, by the way, Rich Dad Poor Dad is by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Next book is Your Next 5 Moves, Master the Art of Business Strategy by Patrick Bet-David with Greg Dinkin. And I've heard a lot of good things on this. Basically, when me and my boyfriend go into a bookstore, here's what happens. I pick out a romance, okay? Hopefully eventually like I can throw some other things in there, like literary fiction or whatever, and he always picks out business or self-help, and it's all books that I'm interested in as well. So anytime he finishes those books, I read them. And so basically every time we go to the bookstore, I get more books than I even bargained for, because I'm reading my books and his books. So it's just amazing. But yeah, Your Next 5 Moves. I don't really know the gist of this one, but it's again just kind of self-helpy, businessy, I believe. This one's mainly focused on business, so excited about that. And then the last self-help, business, financial freedom kind of book is a very common one, and this is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So again, this is more like based towards financial freedom is what I'm pretty sure, and just that kind of vibe, which is the same as Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I've heard amazing things about this. He is still yet to read these 2, which are his books, but when he reads them, when he's done reading them, it's my turn. So I want to read this as well. I feel like I'm gonna pee on myself. Do I get up? Okay guys, I'm back. Next book that I want to read, jumping right back into it, is called Pacifica by Kristen Simmons. I haven't really seen this anywhere. It's not necessarily popular, but I found it a long time ago, and it's like dystopian novel, I think. I don't know, it's way out of the genre that I typically lean for. But it's written by Kristen Simmons, like I said, and she does like a lot of dystopian fiction. But basically it says, a harrowing world, Pacifica will have you breathlessly fearing our own future. Kind of scary. I don't know, the cover looked really good. And when I read like the little this situation, it just looked so good. And yeah, it's also hardback, which is fun. But I just missed this whole picture. But I started reading it when I bought it, and I read to page 36, 37. But then again, I got sucked in by romance, and so I never finished it. So this is one that I would like to restart and finish. Please let me know if you've read this book, because I've never heard of it anywhere else besides when I found it. The next book that I want to read, I've also never heard anywhere, and it is called The News from the End of the World. It's a novel by Emily Jean Miller, and this is a smaller one. I mean, well, it's still 278 pages, but it just looked really good, like when I read the kind of summary on it, but it just looked really good. The texture of the book, though, kind of grosses me out. I wish you could feel it. It's like gritty, but that's just a sensory issue. So yeah, I would like to read this. The next book that I want to read is also different. I want to kind of venture out a little bit, even though I want to read every romance book out there and still plan to do that. But this is called Careers for Women by Joanna Scott. It's another little fun hardback. And funny thing about this is I found this at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and originally this book went for $26 US and 34 Canadian. So that's kind of crazy, but it's, I guess, just about this woman and her future and career, and I honestly don't really know, but it looked cute. The next book that I want to read, I also think I found at Dollar Tree, but I'm not positive, and it's called The Tribes of Palos Verdes. The Tribes of Palos Verdes? I don't know, I haven't been in Spanish in a long time, but this is by Joy Nicholson, which I'm pretty sure I've heard of her, and she's a really good author, but I could be totally wrong. I don't know. If you've ever read this, let me know. Not even sure what this is about. It says Medina Mason is a defiant, awkward 14-year-old newcomer to the affluent beach community of Palos Verdes, California. I don't know. There's this whole thing, but it looked really good. I love surfing. I love the beach. Anything in that setting, I'm probably going to like, so. The next book that I want to read this year is National Book Award finalist Beth Kephart. It's called Wild Blues. It looks really fun. The cover is really cute, but this seems super intriguing. It says, I'm gonna just read the back for you guys. It says, that's what 13-year-old Lizzie's mom asked her to do as summer begins. So Lizzie chooses to stay with her Uncle Davy in his cabin in the Adirondack Wilds. She chooses Matthias Bondazza, Uncle Davy's neighbor and her forever friend. She chooses her survival guide, scrambled eggs, and pupusas. But soon things happen that are beyond Lizzie's choice, beyond her control, things she could never have imagined. A prison break, a kidnapping, a blinding storm. There are new choices to make, and Lizzie must make them, because the fate of everything she loves hangs in the balance. So it's giving action-packed. It's giving, I don't know, but it looks good. The next book that I so badly want to read, and I'm so happy I found this the other day whenever I bought Better Than the Movies, My Life with the Walter Boys. I didn't know they had this in a book. It's written by Ali Novak, and she has some other books as well that I've seen, and I'm just really curious to see if at the end of the book it tells us kind of what else is supposed to go on this in the series. I'm not really sure, but if you haven't seen this on Netflix, definitely go watch it. It's such a good show. It kind of gave me the same vibes as The Summer I Turned Pretty, but in a different way. And I loved it, so I'm so excited to read this. I might actually read this after I finish Reminders of Him, to be honest. We're almost done, guys. The next book I have looks so fun. This is a novel by Matt Goldman, and it's called Broken Ice. This is what she looks like. The cover is what intrigued me, and it says, "In the words of Lee Child on Gone to Dust, I want more Nil Shapiro. When Nil Shapiro is shot through the arm with an arrow, he knows he's getting closer to discovering what happened to missing teenager Linnea Engstrom. He should be in the hospital recovering from his near-fatal injury, but the clock is ticking. Linnea could be anywhere, and someone doesn't want her found. As bodies start piling up, the clues lead Niles, and I said Nils, but it might be Niles, and his partner Anders Allegard north to Werrod, a small quiet town with many secrets to hide." Of the kind of crime action mystery book, so this should be really fun to read. Last two books, and this next one, guys, I did not know existed, and I'm so sad that I didn't know this sooner. But if you love the Hunger Games, or I'm embarrassed, if you love the Divergent series, and you may not know that this exists, because I didn't either. I seen this last time I went book shopping, well, 2 times ago, and I had no idea that this existed, and it's called 4, and it just came after the Divergent series, and I guess this is, I don't know if it's his point of view, I think that's what it is, but it's just like a smaller version. Is it his past? Like, I don't know, but by Veronica Roth. I'm really excited to read this, but yeah, I'm so excited. And the very last book that I have for today's video, this is all my physical TBR. Like I said, I have so much on my Goodreads that I want to read. I want to read Icebreaker really bad. I want to read Check and Mate really bad. Happy Place by Emily Henry. There's so many things I want to read, guys. But this next book I have is by Colleen Hoover, and it is November 9. I actually bought this before the 9th of November last year and anticipated reading it on November 9th. And then stuff happened and I didn't read it. However, I've heard that this is a really good book, and it seems kind of smaller. I think it's 300 pages even, but I'm just really excited because Fallon meets Ben, and I love a good romance. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what kind of books you guys want to read for 2024, and also comment down any suggestions that you have. Like, romance is definitely my favorite, but I love a good mystery. I love a good self-help book. Just really anything that you're very passionate about, your favorite books, whatever. Comment them down below, because although these are definitely more than 24 books and my goal is 50, and I have a non-physical TBR as well, I want to read a lot is kind of the whole gist, and so I want as many recommendations as I can get because I'm just so excited to read it. So that's all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. If you didn't, don't do anything, I guess. Who is it that says that? Is it Caroline Manning? Okay, can't be a copycat. If you didn't, please just don't thumbs down. Okay, anyway, thank you guys. I love you all. Goodbye.